Hello folks, so this following video is a video made in the effort of assisting you with booking your appointments. It is an essential skill that we have to develop over time in making sure that we get really good and sharp on the phone, okay? Our ability to book appointments is going to obviously always keep us in the field, which is what's important in this business, making sure you have appointments, presentations. But not only that, it has to become something even fun to do. We have to make it fun only because we're going to do it all the time. So we might as well make it fun and make almost like a game out of it, right? I think that if we take an approach where we consider it a game where we play to win, we're going to be better off all the time when booking and while booking. There's a lot of psychology behind booking that I think everyone needs to understand. Every script that we give you, and I have the copies of all the scripts here, which I'll go through one by one, was developed with certain words and phrases that have to be there. We are not to change any of those words or phrases, especially in the beginning. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you, I'll realize that over a period of time, you may change a word here and there. As long as your results are still there and you're getting the appointments that you need and the show ratios that you need to have, then it's okay, we're going to keep quiet, right? But in the beginning, it is no one's right to change anything on these scripts, right? They have been tested inside out, we know they work, and this is basically the starting point for everyone, right? So, again, as time goes by, and I mean, I'm one person that has probably said the script over 10,000 times now. So I know the script and I know the presentation, right? So I don't need to have it in front of me in order to know that I know it, in order to make appointments. I mean, I can make appointments on the run. I can make appointments, you know, you wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning and give me a form script, other than my voice may be different, I'll still be able to book appointments. The point I'm trying to make here is that you want to be able to know your script inside out, right? That's why in the first 6 months of your career, you want to have your script in front of you, right? You want to have it in front of you. You want to be reading off of it. You want to make sure you're always hitting the points, right? You know, the company logo a couple of years ago was "Get back to basics," right? So making sure that you have your basics down is important, especially with anything really, but with booking appointments, it's not the exception, right? So on the union presentation, following the script that that pretty much everyone receives in the beginning, this is how we do it. First, you pick up the phone. And the one thing, when you're calling on a union lead, okay, specifically on a union lead, you want to make sure, rather than a union lead, I should say, when you're calling on a hard card, it could be a union, it could be a credit union, it could be an association. Make sure you know which of these you're calling, okay? One common mistake people make is they take the lead, they call it. They say, "Hi, this is so and so calling regarding the reply card you sent us back from your union," and it happened to be an association. It's a turn-off right there, and you may gotta hang up, right? Because the first thing the person's gonna say is, "Well, hang on a minute. What union? What are you talking about?" Of course, they're not a member of a union; they're a member of an association, right? So make sure that you know who is it that you are calling. You know, take a look at the lead for a couple of seconds. Make sure you know how to pronounce their name, right? Something really important, I find. And yeah, that's it. Fire away, smile and dial. So I'll do an example here. Hello, may I speak to Jim, please? Hi, Jim. This is Byron. I'm calling you from AIL. It is in regards to the little reply card you sent us back from your union, the Laborers International Union 506. Yeah, it was regarding the supplemental benefits you're entitled to, the extra $4,000 accident policy. You put down Maria as your beneficiary. Good. Is this your wife? It is great. Well, the reason we're calling is simple. We have your certificate here in package of supplemental benefits, and they have us working in your area tomorrow. Do you still live at 428 Harvey Avenue? You do? Great. So what would be a good time to deliver your certificate and explain the benefits you're entitled to? Are you and Maria home tomorrow between 6 and 7? You are? Great. Okay, could you please grab a pen and a paper, Jim? You ready? Okay, so my name is Byron. I work for AIL. And I'll see you and Maria tomorrow between 6 and 7, okay? Thank you. Have a good night. Obviously, not every presentation, phone presentation, goes as smoothly as that one, okay? On the psychology of it, okay, there are certain pauses that you have to make in order to trigger certain responses from the member when you're on the phone. So, hello, is so-and-so there? Hi, this is Byron calling you from AIL. It's regarding the real reply card you sent us back from your union. You say the union name and you pause. At that point in time, they should say yes. Regarding the supplemental benefits you're entitled to, the extra $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 accident policy, you put so-and-so as beneficiary. You pause, they say yes. Is this your wife? Yes. So that's 3 yeses you get right there. Okay? Something really important. It is within the first 5 seconds of your phone presentation that you break their preoccupation. If you do not achieve that within the first 5 seconds of the phone call, it'll result in a hang-up or a not interested. Only because you didn't break their preoccupation. You didn't catch their attention quickly enough to get them interested. Okay? To get them listening. Okay? That's why the minute they're on the phone with you, okay, and you can count how many seconds it takes for the first pause. Hello, is Jim there? Jim, this is Byron. I'm calling you from AIL. It's regarding the reply card you sent us back from your union, Local 183. There you go, 5 seconds. He should say yes at that point in time. So you identify yourself as someone different. So you don't get confused with a telemarketer. And trust me, it happens that people get confused with telemarketers because their phone presentation is one off. Or they may say, hi Jim, how are you? We don't care how he is. This is regards to the reply card he sent back. Okay? So, very important that you stay on script when it comes to that. Okay? If not, you will lose appointments. Okay? And you will waste leads too. Okay? So we don't want that. So you got the 3 pauses there. Then you verify the address. They live there. They'll say another yes. That's 4 yeses already. And then we're not asking whether or not we can come. We just want to know what's a good time. Okay? So what's important over there is being really assumptive with the appointment and just finding out what time would be good. So again, being assumptive at that point in time makes it easier to close on the appointment. Okay? You have to apply the ABC. Always be closing. You have to do it. Even with booking appointments, it has to be done like that. If for some reason you overcome an objection on the phone or they come up with something and you're able to answer it, but you don't close on the appointment right away, you may still not get the appointment. You have to apply the ABC rule. Always be closing. So whatever they say, you may overcome it and you go back to closing an appointment. Now, there's a standard rebuttal that you're going to receive as part of the package of scripts. Standard rebuttal reads as follows. Simply what's going on is the following. Your union is having a group enrollment. During the enrollment, certain benefits open up to you. One of them is the $3,000 accident policy, which has been taken out for you at no additional cost. Your certificate is in my possession. My job is simple. All we do is come out, deliver your certificate, get your signed beneficiary designation, and explain the benefits you're entitled to. Again, and it's closing. Once again, would you and Mary, or, would 8 and 9 be a good time to see you and Mary? So that's how it's worded here. So it's already closing on a time slot. So once again, would between 6 and 7 be a good time to see you and your spouse? And you always want to say the name of the spouse at least 3 times in your presentation. So you say it the first time you confirm she's a beneficiary. You say it when you close on the appointment, and you say it when he's writing down that you're coming back. So it's 3 times you're mentioning the spouse's name. Remember, you get to the door, the spouse is not home, you're not making a presentation. It's a one-legged, you're wasting your time and the lead, right? You reschedule right away. Matter of fact, you don't even go into the house. You knock on the door. What you should say is, hi, this is Byron from American Income. I'm here to see Jim and Mary. Well, I'm Jim, but Mary's at the shop, but you can come in. At that point in time, you step back, you look at your cell phone and say, you know what, Jim, I'm already running late for my next one. Why don't I come back in a couple hours or tomorrow? Because I can't do my job without Mary. And they may ask, well, how come? I'm the union member. Why can you get this done? Well, it turns out she's your beneficiary. So if something were to happen to you, she needs to know how to claim, and we also need her signature on the certificate. Once again, I'll be back in 2 hours or tomorrow at the same time. What works out better for you? I'm closing back on the appointment. That's what's key. Whenever we're doing the phone is to do one thing and one thing only. That's to book you an appointment. It is not to sell anything. It is not to do anything but to get you an appointment. What you're doing is you're selling your time. That's all you're doing. You're selling your ability to go in and present. That's it, right? So will people say on the phone, can you just mail it? Absolutely. Is this insurance? Absolutely. Not interested? You bet. Why do you have to come to my house? Will you try to sell me something? I already have insurance. I don't want it. You're going to hear all these all the time. Get used to it. Okay? It's part of the deal. What you say is simply the standard rebuttal. This rebuttal, that's why it's called standard, because it works. With all these objections, it's almost like they press a button. The minute they say something, you know what to say, and you close back on the appointment, right? You will get instances where the wife works in the evening, or the husband works in the evening, and the wife works during the day, so they have opposite shifts. Nothing you can do there. You have to book them over the weekend, right? You're going to get that maybe 20% of the time. So it happens sometimes, right? And sometimes you're going to find that whatever the objection is, they give it to you, you overcome it. You try and close again, and they don't give you a time. Or they don't come in. Or they want you to call before you get there. Now, you don't want to do that. You don't want to be in a position where they condition you to call before you get there. Because typically what occurs is when you call, they get out of the appointment. Right? Or you have to resell the appointment. So I have a very good technique that I do when I'm on the phone with that situation. I simply say, you know what? It's not a problem. But hang on a minute. You're at this address? You know what, Jim? I have somebody down the street from you. Is it okay that when I'm done with them, I can just come out and knock on your door? You know what? If you and Mary are home at the time, wonderful. We'll get it done and out of the way. If you, for some reason, are not home, you know what? I have so many members to see. I'll be back later on that night or the next day. So, is it okay to come out tomorrow between 7 and 8 and just knock on your door? You're going to find that 90% of the time they'll say, sure, no problem. But what you're doing there is you're getting yourself out of having to call them before you go there. Okay? And besides, you're going to be in the area anyway. And sometimes it's good if they forget that you're coming. Right? It's almost like you caught them by surprise. Right? So it works out well. But it's really important that you become very persistent on the phone when booking the appointment. Okay? You're going to get a lot of people that want to sell you on the idea that they can't see you. For example, they'll just come up with this, something as basic as, we're really busy tomorrow. We really can't see you. My response to that would be, Jim, I understand you're busy, but we have your certificate here. We're going to be down the street from you. Okay? All we need is a few minutes of yours and your wife's time to get this done and out of the way for you. Once again, I'll be out there tomorrow. Is this time a good time? Are you going to be home tomorrow around this time? It's an easy way to close an appointment because 80% of people out there have routines, right? So 80% of people out there go to work, come home around the same time every day, and follow a routine, right? So if I'm calling someone and it's 7:03 p.m., there's an 80% chance that the next day they're going to be home also at 7:03, right? So an easy way to book an appointment or close an appointment is simply to say, Jim, Mary, will you be home tomorrow around this time? See, it's a yes or no. Very important. Notice that when you're closing an appointment, it's always a yes or no. It's never an open-ended question. See, because if we ask an open-ended question such as, what would be a good time? Well, how many answers can you get for that? You can get so many different answers. You want to ask a yes or no. At that point and also it's not a matter of can we come or do you not want us to come. You don't ask whether or not we can come, although that's a yes or no, okay? You never ask that. So can we come or no, it's wrong. You always ask on a time slot. You close on a time slot, okay? You have to be very assumptive and persistent when booking the appointment, right? Because if you ask what would be a good time, Well, they can tell you, well, I'm working tomorrow. Of course they're working. They're union members. Hopefully they're working. So, you know, we know that, but they don't know our hours. They don't know anything. Okay? So we can tell them, you know, it's just, bottom line is you don't want to ask open-ended questions such as what's a good time, right? Only because they can easily tell you, well, tomorrow's not a good time because I'm going to work, right? It's always asking on a time slot. It's what's important, okay? You have the standard rebuttal. The next script here is the association script. Now, it is no different from the union script, only that instead of the word union, we've replaced it with the word association, okay? Then it's the exact same thing. Hi, this is Byron from AIL. So we're going to deliver a reply card. You sent this back from your association. And it's important that at that point in time, you say the association's name. Okay, really important. Okay, but it's really no different than the union script. Same thing with the credit union. Okay, it's in regards to the reply card that you sent us back from your credit union. Okay, and then you have the referral form presentation. Now, this referral form presentation is utilized when you collect the green certificates. Okay, the script goes as follows: hello, is this Jim? It is? Great. This is Byron, Jim. I'm calling you Byron from AIL. The reason for my call is we recently went to see John, your brother. He's a member of Local 183, and certain benefits have opened up to them, one of which was an additional accident policy for $1,000 that they could include family and close friends at no additional cost. They chose to include you in this benefit. Now, this has already been done for you at no additional cost. The reason I'm calling is if something were to happen to you, we need to know who you want as your beneficiary and the relationship to you. Great, your current address, you verify the address. Then what would be a good time to stop by and deliver your certificate so you can sign it and explain the benefits that you're entitled to? Can you please tell me what time you get home from work? So again, you're asking a specific question here, but the same techniques that you were doing when closing on the union appointment, you could use on a referral appointment. Now for this, you want to refer to my other video. At the end of that video, I go thoroughly, okay, on how to book the referrals. Okay, I spent a good 15-20 minutes just in this presentation alone, right? Now for this particular training material, I'm just going to go through it on the surface, right? But to go in depth with it, you want to refer to my other video, okay? And like I said, the rest of the scripts have a similar psychology behind it. I'm going to say that, you know, the most important thing when you're phoning, yes, of course, you know, we're going to ask you and we're going to make sure that you're following the presentation, but your tone of voice is really important. Okay, you can't sound boring on the phone, otherwise people will hang up on you. You need to have a certain level of excitement in your voice, okay? And it's not like a rah-rah, I'm excited. No, okay? It's a very explicit tone, okay? You're calling for a reason, okay? And they are the ones that gave you the reason to call. It has to come across like that, okay? It almost has to come across like you're doing them a favor by calling them and letting them know that we got this and we're doing this tomorrow or the next day or whenever the appointment is booked. It has to come across like that, okay? Also, you have to have a sense of urgency when you speak to these people on the phone, okay? There has to be a sense of urgency. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you, sometimes you won't be able to book the appointment that same week with them because of, you know, things that come up. Maybe they'll be away for the weekend or things like that, right? Now, I'll be the first one to tell you, whenever someone tells you they're going to be away for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, please do not believe that. Play stupid and call them back next week. You'll be shocked that 80% of the ones that tell you that they're not going to be home for the next 2 weeks, you'll call them the following week and they'll pick up the phone. So your job is, to a certain extent, not to believe, okay, when people say, I'll be gone for 2 weeks or I'll be gone for a month. Of course, we're not calling them liars. We will never do that, okay? But you'll make a note of it, you'll believe it, but you'll still call the lead the week after. You will be shocked because people will pick up the phone a week after. So the sense of urgency is important, the tone of voice. Again, I mean, staying on script, that's the first thing, really. And making sure you smile over the phone. People can feel a smile, they can also feel a frown, okay? And it's much nicer to hear someone smile over the phone only because it transmits that positive energy through, okay? And again, being assumptive and being persistent. Just like anything we do in this business, it is a numbers game. Not everyone will give you an appointment. The not interested ratio on the phone should not be more than 5% at all times, right? So of every 20 leads that you get, maybe 1 or 2 will be not interested, okay? The other 18 you will be able to get through the door, right? At most, I mean, I'm seeing, yeah, 5% is really a realistic not interested ratio. If you're getting more than that, that means your phone presentation is off and you're not sounding how you should be sounding. And the reason I say that is because at American Income Life, we can give a lead to someone and they may be not interested with that person's phone presentation. We can hold on to the lead a week, give it to somebody else who's sharp on the phone, and they'll be able to book an appointment, go out and make a presentation, and sales in some cases. So it's making sure that you sound exciting on the phone. It's really important when booking your appointments. Okay, so just have fun with it. Like I said, make it fun. Make it a game where you're playing to win. Okay, and make sure your voice is sharp on the phone. It's something really important, and you get to the point. Remember, hi, how are you, and those things. Avoid those phrases on your phone presentation. They don't get you anywhere. And even sometimes if you were to do it and you still got the appointment, it doesn't prove a point. Only because you would have still gotten the appointment if you hadn't done it. So if you didn't say, hi, how are you, okay, like I have heard people say, they still would have gotten the appointment anyway. And the point is you're booking appointments, you're not doing anything else, okay? Will people say on the phone a million different things sometimes? If you're coming to sell me something, please, that you're going to hear. I can guarantee you're going to hear. And you will be shocked when the people that booked the appointment that said that please don't come and sell me something will end up buying, right? And besides, there's no difference between someone that you booked an appointment with, and they're really nice on the phone, they agreed for you to come out, you went out, you made a presentation, you didn't sell. It's supposed to happen. It's a numbers game. So there's no difference between that person and somebody else that you booked and said to you, when you come here, don't try and sell me anything. There's no difference there. At the end, you booked an appointment, you made a presentation, they didn't buy. You booked an appointment, you made a presentation, they didn't buy. The same thing if they had bought, right? Let's say you booked an appointment, you went out, you made a presentation, you made a sale, right? Well, that same person could have easily told you on the phone, oh yeah, if you try and come in here and sell me something, don't bother, this, that, the other. It goes from this year to this year, you have a standard rebuttal, a way to overcome that, and you book an appointment. What I'm trying to say here is that get used to certain phrases on the phone because they don't stop, okay? I can tell you the ones that hear the most of those phrases are the top producers, because typically top producers book a whole lot of appointments. So I can tell you they hear the exact same things everybody else hears, right, on the phone. It's just a matter of, it goes from here, come out here, you have a standard rebuttal, you have a script to follow, and boom, okay? Thank you.